Every single series has gone the distance. One more game of Dota is going to be played tonight. The question is, who's going to come out on top? Two very different games in this series thus far. Question is...
Yay! Yay! They crumbled up.
Party horn.
Like, those are from day one here, right?
Oh, they were.
Yeah, that's the glue from day one.
Isn't it from the piñata? No.
No, it's from the confetti.
Okay.
The cracker thing.
Yeah, I thought that was not. I thought that was what it was, but that thing was. It had some real power behind it.
You had so much glitter
power
in your hair.
behind it.
Loud.
We definitely saw some very good Dota in that last game. Let's actually talk about the differences between Game 1 and Game 2 because Fog, we're gonna have a I feel like it's gonna be pretty difficult for you guys to call who you think is going to come out on top of the series as a whole. What were the big differences?
I mean, with this one, IG had some like unorthodox type of picks, going for like their Lion, going for their Axe. I know they like these heroes, but it is a bit out there, a bit different. We don't see these heroes too much because they do falter a lot versus this. And this PL, this opening two heroes, it was an open PL versus Drow Ranger, and they didn't really have the best type of solutions for it.
They didn't address it.
Yeah.
Everything that's usually good versus that PL on different positions was banned out, and they couldn't really deal with the PL at all later on in the game. Drow, she is great. It's one of the best meta heroes at the moment, but PL counters her so hard.
Well, not only that, but with the Diffusal Blade too. You watch that Ember Spirit try to get into these fights. He'd use a Remnant and then just get blown up by the PL. Just no mana left, so he can't do anything. He's
what
just gonna
happened
stand
to
there.
him as well? Like he had some perfect performances, but this game was not one of those.
Yeah, he got, what, it was like 4 or 5 times in a row that he was just getting Blink, Infernal Blade, Doom, Blink, Blink, Infernal Blade, break the Lincolns with the Purge, creep into Doom, and it was like over and over again, and he needs to have a good game. They absolutely need Emo to have a good game if they want to be able to address PL, because he is that PL addresser. That was the last pick for them to try to like solve everything in their draft, and it just didn't end up working out. They weren't able to take all the fights. They had a good like start inside like that mid game and everything, but those pickoffs ruined them.
He looked really good early on.
Yeah.
His reaction time was on point. He was very elusive. Doom could not get on top of him, but later on, what happened?
It just got too late.
Yep.
It just started to get too late into these games, and the PL just ran over them.
Maybe lost concentration the same way Aster lost theirs in that first match.
Yeah. You go off of what Fox said. I mean, it was something that was pretty pronounced in the draft as well. You guys were even saying all the way to the last pick, it's like the one box that really needs to be checked here. The one problem that needs to be addressed is going to be that PL, and now we're still sitting here saying the same thing. It seems like in this draft, we can't see any big oversights like that, right? So when we actually do jump into the draft, we're going to have to see what they do decide on, and maybe if we're going to get back to something that's more in line with what we saw. I just did here. We're going to be jumping to a quick break. When we return, then we'll get into the draft. We're going to see the 12th game of Dota of the night.
Great Gaming Esports, professional esports housemaker.
Multiple witnesses have reported mysterious shadow sightings all around the city. According to experts, the origin of these shadows is
restare qui abbracciati mentre il giorno non c'è più e la luna da lassù fa da specchio ai nostri baci. Se ti guardo dentro agli occhi mentre già mi batte il cuore e ti dico che per me stare insieme qui con te ha il sapore dell'amore, mio caro l'amore. Se tu mi baci, caro l'amore, sei tu che mi baci, baci di amore mi baci. Ti ho cercato stamattina, mentre il sole si svegliava. Ti ho trovato accanto a me, con la tazza del caffè, pronto caldo che fumava. Mi hai guardato negli occhi e toccandomi il cuore mi dici che c'è, sono qui accanto a te. Buongiorno mio amore, mio caro l'amore è nei tuoi baci, caro l'amore sei tu che mi baci, baci di amore mi baci. L'amore tuo è tutto quel che c'è, l'amore tuo sì mi fa sognare tra i tuoi baci. Nei tuoi baci, dentro il cuore si mi bruci, come il sole d'estate ti voglio con me sulla pelle i tuoi baci.
Just one game of Dota remains. Players are in their seats. We are already in the draft, and to break it down, we got an excellent panel. We got Moxie, we got Lizard, we got Fog, and let's just jump straight in here. I think we've talked at great length as to what we saw in Game 1 and Game 2, and we started to hear some of those tweaks that the analysts want to see in this final game of the night. Lizard, what are you looking for here early on in the draft?
Meta heroes once again. First game, second game, third game, but perhaps those PL bans. Let me see. Slark has been banned out by IG, Omni Knight as well. On the other hand, you have the Wisp and the Morphling. So what remains? What's the problem? Drow and PL. Get those heroes out, and then we can talk about something else.
There's Lich and Disruptor.
Yeah.
Don't forget Lich, Disruptor, Doom.
I'm just talking about these
the big
cores
problem
that completely shape the way the game is being played.
It's just so hard to counter. Like Drow Ranger does have like a lot of different counters, but PL, like when certain one of those are taken out,
like an Underlord,
you get
right?
so limited on what you can actually just take out. Yeah, the Underlord was banned, right?
Here,
then
my wishes are coming true. So far, Drow has been banned out. Let's see. Oh, Lich.
Maybe they're hoping to pick it up for themselves.
I think if you go for PL right now, then that opens up Underlords for the enemy team. They can go Underlord +1, right?
Yeah, I don't think they'll open with it overall.
We have seen many teams open up with Slark plus position 5, Wiz plus Gyro, obviously, but that's a different story.
Could see the support, you could see the Disruptor
PL
getting picked
Green
up
as well.
on one of the teams.
There
it is.
They're definitely going to do Disruptor.
Oh, there it is.
Such a strong support. Or mid.
Or mid.
Or mid from today.
Yeah, speaking of that, right, and thinking about that series, keep in mind, whoever does win this and manages to stay in the tournament, they're going up against Beast Coast, right? So you got a pretty tough road ahead of you after we saw that last series. Beast Coast obviously looked very hot. Take Enigma down.
Do they Doom PL?
The Rubik.
Actually Doom Rubik. Okay.
I like this.
Finally, we see the Rubik. I was calling for the hero in that last game. I really value him quite a lot. I can't believe teams have just forgotten about him. But there are some supports that are stronger.
So, like, I mean, I like the Rubik a lot overall in games, but Disruptor's not one of the heroes that's Rubik's actually like amazing versus. The spells you steal, you're very unlikely to get the big ones. You know, you're usually going to get kinetic field in most situations. You're not going to get the static storm. You're not going to get doing it. And they get the combo. So, all right.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of disappearing a little bit, or just getting banned on the openers a lot of the time.
We have the big combo now for IG and Aster. They have to find ways of dealing with that sleep into static storm. Some saves would be great, right?
Rubik actually can be, I saw the games, the Reality Rift games in particular, the Rubik was the one that actually ruined the Naga Siren a lot of times because he was staying out of range and he was stealing the song back, and then he was songing and resetting the fights as they would drop stuff and stuff. Or just in general, he can have some situation where he can break combos.
And they do have a really great Rubik. They've got two great Rubik players, right? You've got Fade and you've got Boboka. So it's not out of the question that their positioning is going to be really perfect and they can get those steals.
They're trying to ensure with this Venge pick that someone is going to get caught inside Static Storm. That's like one of the few heroes that we've seen that's actually a save to protect people.
There's Venge, there's OD that we saw yesterday, and there's Shadow Demon as well.
Yeah.
Shadow Demon, I don't know if Aster really have space for it right now with this Rubik pick, but OD and Shadow... What else did I say? OD and...
OD, Shadow Demon, Venge.
Yeah, Venge has been banned out, so
Something
OD is pretty much the only option.
And I don't think they're as good either. They're like... They don't get you out of the storm. You know, you're still gonna pop back up and storm last for another, because if it's an ag static storm in particular, it's gonna last quite a long time anyway on top of you.
It's at least something.
Yeah.
You know, it's better than dying instantly. Also, different route. Get heroes that get on top of Disruptor super easily, and that also can deal with the illusions. Fogged, Ember, right?
Yeah.
Something like that would be pretty sick.
Could definitely be a possibility. Arc Warden still giving that respect.
What if they got
that?
What if they got really aggressive on like one of the teams and picked up something like the Tiny to be able, especially like, you know, to burst down, like whether it's the Disruptor or the other supports on the side of Aster? Would that be a possibility? Because
definitely. It is a decent hero. We've seen him today as well.
Yeah.
They're just now they're covering the exact same thing, since it's the same thing. Like Naga Siren with PN, PL, they share the similar thing where it's Leshrac. Leshrac is an illusion clear, so they're gonna leave the Ember in the pool.
I would value Ember a lot more in this game, just because of that ability to get on top of the Disruptor.
5 seconds remaining.
Timbersaw again. We have seen Timbersaw banned out in this series before.
Yeah.
They played it. And Aster, let's see what they opt to go for.
They still have options if they do also want to do something like that. I mean, they did the Magnus earlier. If they do want to do some Magnus plus some like cleaving hero.
Remember the Alchemist pick versus Naga as well. That looked so sick.
Oh, okay.
You know,
10 seconds remaining.
you get the Alchemist and literally Naga can never match that pace. You just come online faster, you get that Radiance, you get all the items that you need, and
Which
she's irrelevant.
series did we see that in?
Not today.
Not today.
Yeah, I know it wasn't today. I'm trying to remember. Who,
I think it was even before we came here to Leipzig.
yeah, I think it was Stockholm.
Yeah. RIP, R.I.P.
We saw a like decent amount of Alc, Stockholm, and then also at the minor too, right? Any other things that you can be looking for, though? You talk about a lot of the saves that you can potentially get on the side of Aster. Are there any other heroes that they can be looking for now?
It's just if they do want to like secure that, I mean, the Ember is really the one big one that does, if they do want to secure that one, but I think more than likely they're just going to take a support here. Wyvern left in the pool.
Oracle.
Oh, that is...
That's a...
It's a save. Okay, so yeah, I mean, they were going to, I guess, go for another saving hero anyway, still to try to protect people versus that Disruptor role.
Not only the save, but also a good laner versus Disruptor, as you have that purge.
You purge it off, yeah. It's been a while, though, since we've seen an Oracle get picked up.
Yeah.
Saw it once in the group stages by Stinger, who played it. Yeah, it was
probably.
Stinger. He went like a 1-1-1 build, and yeah, that was with the Doomless Doom. Yep.
Yep.
That was with the Doomless
Doom.
Yeah. And it did not end up working out. A hero that can still work, but it's a tough one because this hero is, I think, False Promise has like 120-second cooldown or something, and it's a short cast range. While in comparison, Disruptor Static Storm is like 90, 80, 70 or something along the lines. It does scale.
But maybe they will combo it with something like a Huskar or something similar.
I was kind of thinking something along that. Maybe they look to just end the game before they even care about this combo. I think Huskar is definitely the big one that really does stand out.
It's the third game of the series. It's late. Cheese them right now and just end it.
Could definitely see it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those moments where it's funny because we keep going back to that Beast Coast series. Obviously, it's fresh in our mind, but you go fast in situations where your back's against the wall. You obviously feel a little bit nervous. going for cheese, you're kind of scared of potentially getting cheesed on or just going up against something that is on more stable legs. But how do we feel about this here? Keep seeing a bunch of faces that we haven't seen in a little while, Lizard.
Yeah, Keeper of the Light. Haven't seen him in such a long time. With Naga, he used to be pretty good, but that's when the Riptide was an actual spell, right? And you could cast it multiple times.
This is more combo with the song, and it's also a
It's good deep
it's a
push
delayer
too,
of
right?
the game, so that they can stall the game out for a long time, so the Naga can farm
Come
forever.
online.
Yeah.
Because you just shove out the waves with that Illuminate every single time, and it's going to be difficult. Because right now they don't have great wave clear coming out from the side of Aster.
So my question is now are you in a situation where both sides are somewhat doubling down? Like, is Aster going to say, okay, we need to go fast, we need to make sure that we get this game closed out before the Naga comes online, and are they kind of in a situation where they need to start thinking about how they're going to manage to get to the late game and scale?
You literally answered your own question, and we're going to see it in these last two picks, because you can go either way.
Yeah.
There are heroes that work really well versus Naga later on. There are heroes that will allow you to end the game a little bit sooner. I think it's probably better to end the game a little bit sooner, not only because of the Naga, but the Naga plus Disruptor combo, because you will have to face that Aghanim's Disruptor later on, and that's just... I think that's more difficult to deal with than the farm Naga.
All right, they're going to go Leipzig. I thought it was going to be Husker. I'm like, are they going to do it? Because I feel like they could have just done it there, and they could have just tried to opt for that opportunity. You see the two supports, they can't really fit like an AA or anything to break it, but they're going to go for Leipzig or something more just safe. Good hero versus, actually incredible hero versus both supports. He just clicks Rage, kills the Will-O-Wisp in most scenarios, or he can protect himself pretty well versus Disruptor. But the Naga Siren matchup is a little weird.
It forces you to maybe go for something like Mjolnir Radiance build to deal with the illusions.
It works now though, right? You always go Maelstrom now on Lifestealer because just how good it is. And another hero we don't see picked very often.
Don't see it
Good
picked
counter.
but it's like Moxie said.
Yeah, it's fantastic counter, being able to, sit there in that lane, go against Lifestealer, get a couple bashes off, just cause a lot of problems. Because he doesn't care. It's like, okay, yeah, you've got your rage up. that's cute.
And he's a fun hero with Coddle because you can pair it with the Chakra. You can double stun a lot of the times once you get that max level.
10 seconds remaining.
So yeah, that is actually a hero that I've been wanting to see quite a lot. The lane can be very strong. It's just what can the hero provide you with the later stages. But yeah, Corrosive Haze is a pretty insane ability, as we saw, of course, in that series at the end of the night last night with that Dark Willow, Slardar, Boxy.
Boxy's so good on that hero. And he had the Ags too, so he was able to make those puddles and get that extra little burst.
That Ags is so good. I love it.
He had Sliver, he had Halberd, he had like
he was kidding.
60-70% stat resistance.
Played like a beast too.
Played like a beast,
This Corrosive Haze in this game is a big problem at the moment that they do have to solve, probably with itemization. They're gonna have to get a lot of plus armor, but Doom is very low armor. Like, you have to get like your, I don't know, something like your Buckler early on, and get like maybe an Ice Ogre creep early too. Make sure that you are gonna be able to buff people up with them, because that hurts.
Luckily he can itemize for that, and he can find the right creep, so.
10 seconds remaining.
Just go for the lizard method.
5 seconds remaining.
What's the lizard method?
What's that mean?
6 bracers.
6 bracers. Bracers don't give you armor.
I know.
armor,
It allows you to stay alive if you're a noob.
That's true.
I like the
I told you, my ex-teammate, he told me, you can either be good or buy bracers, that's how you play this game.
Anytime I hear that anything's needed now after talking to Lizard, it's just like, can he just buy bracers? Serious question though, what does each squad need to round out their draft? In all seriousness,
I like the Aster ban, the TA. I think there would have been way too much minus armor for them to deal with. Between Riptide, between Corrosive Haze, and a TA thrown in there, I think that their lineup would just get eviscerated by what IG has.
There's the Storm.
They're just gonna go for their Storm.
Going for it.
That's a way to get into the back lines onto the Oracle, so that when you do your combo with your Naga Disruptor, you can just jump on that Oracle with the Storm Spirit and kind of mess with the save, and it's emo.
It's super mobile, and
it's like his
emo
favorite.
Storm, yeah.
They've got nothing on there right now for mana burn either. It's not like too much lockdown. Obviously the Doom, a really good counter to heroes like Storm or Puck or whatnot, but there's so many other heroes that you have to watch out for. You have to be accounted.
Are you just thinking about Ember now if you're Aster? It's decent versus Storm, it's decent versus Naga. They go with the Ember.
I think you have to. If you want to be able to have any type of chance of scaling versus IG side, you have to go Ember here, because otherwise IG's lineup is just going to outscale you at some point, and you won't be able to.
You can't rely only on Nikes to deal with the illusions. That's the bottom line. You need this Ember spirit.
So the Ember was something that you guys foreshadowed pretty much throughout the entirety of the draft. I think maybe it was even in phase 1 of the draft you already started to talk about Ember.
Yeah.
And now you say that this is going to give them some potential to scale, but is the win condition that you're looking for on their side still to outpace? Or do you think that are they somewhere in between? Where does this draft actually end up?
It's a bit in between, but at the same time, I'm really liking
Naga, right?
I'm really liking the Naga Disruptor.
They have so many saves too.
They
they can reset.
Yeah, and it's just it's a really hard scaling lineup, and everything kind of works together. And it's Emo playing Storm, and he's a boss on the hero.
All right, well, you hear what our panel thinks about the actual draft. Keep in mind what the stakes are. This game is going to decide it. It's the last game of the night. Which team is going to get to keep on trucking through with this major?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The final game of the final series of the night, Aster versus IG, is upon us. I'm OnlyPixel, joined by Kezu once again for this one. And again, some different heroes. We're getting a Keep with the Light come into play, a bit of Oracle action from Aster, and those exciting final picks, the good old Spirit Showdown, the Storm versus the Ember. Kezu, what are we reckoning?
Well, so obviously we have the Disruptor Naga combo on Radiant, which I think has won a lot in this tournament. That's why also you don't get to see it every game, because it's banned a lot, because Disruptor is a great hero, especially paired up with the Naga. Both lineups have a solid way of, going into the fight. One team has Storm, one team has Ember. And I actually think that this game will be decided by the mid players in this game, because they're the tempo controllers of the game. If Ember goes off, he's gonna, help his team a lot in the early game. And it's kind of the same for Radiant, because even though the Dire team, they're playing against this Naga Disruptor, I kind of like what they have going for themselves. But one of the issues is Storm is super good against the support combo of Oracle and Rubik. So we'll kind of have to see how the early game goes and how the mid lane develops.
I mean, overall, considering the games that we've seen so far, is there a team out of these two that's sort of impressed you a little bit more? Like, do you think we do have a side that you feel is clearly a little bit stronger out of these two teams?
I'm not quite sure. I think they've both looked good at stages, and then at other times not so much. So perhaps a little inconsistent. Maybe they're a bit tired. Maybe there's some nerves kicking in. I'm not sure. But I just kind of like the idea of what Aster has going for themselves, even though, like I said, they are up against this Naga Disruptor combo.
Oh, we'll see what we can get out of them and see what lanes we are going to have into play. As at the moment, letting the 1v1 occur down here. JT versus XXS. I do imagine if that is left as a sole one-on-one, the Slider will have a pretty good time, won't he?
Yeah, this is something you want to avoid heavily, which is why Rubik is already down bottom to help his Doom out, because this has got to be one of the worst matchups for Doom to play in a one-on-one, which is also why the Slaughter has an orb, so they're kind of hoping to have this matchup, and in response they have to bring out the Disruptor to bottom as well.
I mean, the pings are there. I mean, yeah, XXS has to be careful. He's just straight up dead. And there you have it. You got to respect the power of the punch of this little fishy fellow.
Yeah, I mean, he already got harassed quite a lot, and since his support came down, it's, you know, very likely that the enemy support will also show up in a while, and they didn't really respect the little disruptor coming in from the side.
Not at all, not at all. Getting that first bud down there for IG. He's back to the lane, but yeah, XXS he's got to respect that. You know, as soon as that second level's there for JT, there's a lot of killing potential once more.
Yeah, one thing that these two teams should focus on, especially in the early game, is rune control to help out their, you know, respective mid heroes. Both Storm and Ember are probably in the top 5 heroes that use runes the best. So we're gonna have to keep a look at that.
I'm looking at this top lane on this top half of the map. Is there going to be a side that struggles more in this dual lane setup they have up here?
I think the Naga Coddle, they just want to like push out the lane. So they need a few levels, you know, then they're going to feel good. Right now, the Nyx and the Oracle, they should be fine here. But I would say once Radiant get this level 3 up on them, they're going to be okay. They'll just illuminate the wave, put the illusions, you know, into the wave, auto attack, and both teams will kind of just straight farm in the top lane.
Down bottom. XXS feeling strong with the Scorched Surf to start to train on the JT. We'll be able to force him back. That Fade Bod as well makes it a little harder for the Slardar to stand tall against the Doom and sort of try and outright click him.
Yeah, and in the bottom lane, they can only fight back if they have Scorched Earth, so kind of a win condition for Radiant on bottom is you go, you force the Scorch, you chill, and then you go shortly after again when the Scorch is on cooldown. As you can see, they kind of understand that they can't lane, so, you know, the Doom, he's gonna pull some creeps, which makes a lot of sense. Little courier snipe up top.
And how we see him in mid continues to be very, very close between Emo and Chuan. Little edge for the Storm, but bottom lane, Karka's come over to try and mess with them and distract them, and he's going to be fine, just able to continuously poke at them and try and slow down Aster's ability to grab these creep waves and drag them to a safe spot to farm.
Yeah, Radiant they're just winning the spot lane pretty hard, as they kind of should. You know, Disruptor, one of the strongest fives, like we said many times. He can trade with a Rubik, and then the biggest difference in this lane is just Slaughter compared to Doom. Doom has 0 armor, he cannot fight back against the Slaughter, so it's just logical that they're gonna end up losing the spot lane.
And what is the build on Slaughter? Do you sort of go treads into Blink, or do you like treads Echo Saber, work on the right click?
I think it depends kind of on what you want to do in the game. I think Blink first is underrated as mid lane. We have a pullback field.
And that'll do it. Gets the point in the pull. They've got the catch and damage between the two of them, Emo and Kaka.
Yeah, so pretty good kill. Rubik is just gonna take some experience mid, probably get bottled up by the Ember when he comes back. Again here, we have the Javelin first on Nyx, and I actually think this makes a huge difference in the lane. I actually didn't take this into consideration earlier on. He can just run at either of these heroes, and I mean, Naga inherently has a lot of armor, but Javelin don't give a damn about your physical armor at all.
And it definitely gives you great trading possibilities. And already, you know, SCCC's having a grand old time on the creeps there. Bottom lane, JT is also having a grand old time over on the other side for IG, as he smashes down XXS once more.
Yeah.
Free farm on the Slardar and kill after kill now in this bottom lane.
Yeah, he makes sure he gets the last hit. Totally fine. And to go back about his item build, heroes kind of open. You know, you can go an item like Vlad's first if you're going to look to hit some creeps, if you want to secure gold.
Bang on.
Yeah, he has the Vlad's queued up. So the few builds you kind of have, it's like Vlad's first or maybe Blink if you want to be more aggressive. Some people, they like to go for the Aghanims, which is okay in this game as top lane. We have a lift back and a quick kill here on Mr. Ollie on his Kato. A hero we don't see very often at all right now. So they're pulling out a small page out of their own playbook.
And starting to get an early lead off the back of these lanes. You know, we're only 5 minutes in, but already a 2k jump up for IG. A much bigger sort of difference between the two teams than in comparison to what we saw in 5 minutes in the other two matches.
Yeah, this bottom lane is a disaster. I don't even know if that's the right statement. It might be too little.
I mean, it's got to feel bad because, you know, last game, you said it. You know, XXS's Doom last game, he had a great time.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard for him to have that same sort of impact this time around, right, if he's having to start this slow.
Yeah, especially if he's a level 4 Doom against a 6 Slardar. Because you already don't like this laning matchup at the start, but when Slardar gets 6, it's even worse because you are in like negative 1 million armor right now.
Dude, look at this.
Yep.
Emo. He's in and he's stealing the creeps.
And he's dead.
Is that a worth or not?
How many creeps did he get?
I think he got like a triple stack, didn't he?
If he got all the creeps, then you can maybe take it. Even, I mean, you know, he's feeding a bit here and there, but I think most people would go for that play. But luckily for Dire, they have this high ground ward that is kind of protecting their jungle and the stack. So I think he should kind of know also that
that's a good amount of
Let's
creeps.
see.
You know what I mean?
He's gonna get all of these.
Do some quick maths. What, 16 plus 13 plus 23? That is 29, 32, 52, 76, 120, and 130, 193, 200. It's similar to the amount of gold he gave away for dying.
Yeah, but he
I
also
think
fed
actually
experience and he's dead. So, I mean, he took it away from them. So, you know, if you want to do the math properly, then it ends up at minus 1 million. So, you never know.
But then you think about the amount of heroes that had to come over and kill him.
True.
It's a complex game, Dota 2.
Yeah, I think Reddit should answer this question for us after.
Oh, no. They shouldn't answer any questions.
Oh, that's...
No.
Well, we have a Maelstrom here on the Nakes, on a more positive note. That is really good for them.
Very good. Very, very, very quick timing. Not as quick as we saw earlier today from young Nico, baby.
True.
But still, a very respectable timing. Chwam.
He has no remnants on Mr. Ember, so he shall die.
What happened to his remnants?
That's a good question.
What's he doing at this point in the game with no remnant?
I assume
he must have tried for the kill.
To kill this little disruptor boy, and he didn't succeed. Rune control, DD up top. Storm shall take it and look for a play on the map. Doom, still not level 6. Oh, sad face.
Fade.
Yeah, well, they're doing their job. Runes are, like we said it before, very important in this game. And Slaughter top.
Glimpse him. Oh, he's already used it. Never mind. He just sets up the Kaka.
Well, so they know that the ward is there.
That's what he was doing.
They should also know that the other ward up top from earlier, when the storm died. So they kind of have some intel on where Dire have their vision placed. But, well, 8.5 minutes. Doom just now got us level 6. So they could potentially look for a play. If they do have to rotate Ember, though, to one of the side lanes. It's kind of like the other games. If you want to kill one of these heroes, you need to usually have 3 heroes in the lane. It will be most natural for one of the mid heroes to go to their off lane once again. A support takes over the mid. So everyone gets kind of happy.
I'll see what this. I mean, at the moment, it feels like the biggest playmaker for IG really is this sort of Slardar disruptor combination. You know, you can just walk around. You know, JT, he's ready to kill people. Topper, that's his buddy that he wants to try and make plays with, getting picked off. Steps a little too far forward and trying an SEC are able to jump on in mid lane. It's going to be a jump made by Emo, but Baboka's there with the save, keeping the Rubik safe. As now he can turn as the root. Emo's still got the mana to play with, can get himself away. But nice save there from Baboka, meaning that Emo doesn't get away with getting in and getting the quick kill.
Yeah, and also a very good spell usage, using the Fate's Edict to negate all of the magical damage here. We have outposts coming up in 20 seconds, so let's see how both teams decide to allocate their heroes. You could... I've seen some people skill song for this instance, and then, you know, they take the outpost and then they die. I don't know how worth it, you know, if that's worth it or not. But right now, you know, he doesn't have it skilled. There looks like they're just going to trade a 1-for-1 safely.
Yeah. I mean, see, it seems for the most part, the early outpost teams don't go too crazy for trying to make sure they get both, because it's... I mean, obviously, it's a bit of XP, but it's not a crazy amount of XP.
Yeah, it's not as much as it used to be at the start of the patch. Then it really mattered.
Yeah. Like, it's not worth throwing lots of resources to just stop your enemy from getting their own bit of the piece of the pie.
Well, so now you just see both teams kind of mirroring each other's movement. They're both looking to score down on the enemy safe lane tower, open up the enemy jungle, so they get to free it up. So let's see if one team decides to defend their tower, as Rubik is TPing up to defend for Dire, but here we also have Storm coming in. So this should be a little scrimmage coming up in this early game.
XXS does have a TP, and pretty much everyone else does in case they do want a TP up top. in reaction to IG getting aggressive.
Caudle is not 6 yet. He's very close. So off this wave dying, he might get 6. So potentially, Dire's communication right now is, oh, Caudle is not 6. Let's take this fight. But he gets this
Zemo's in. Instantly gets lifted up. There are TP's coming forward. The Will-O-Wisp drag the two of them. They're caught in the static storm. They've got the combo off. And in they go, IG. Crushed out. The Rubik's out. Can they get more from this? They'll knock back another. The Doom's been dropped onto JT. They do lose the Doom. The false promise brought him some time, but he ends up still falling. But overall, Aster are able to punish IG for that dive. They get the trade and take 2 heroes down in return.
Well, that ended up pretty well for the Dire team, as they took out the bot tower before engaging in this whole play. I am surprised it didn't really go worse for them, because they TP'd into as hold up top lane.
It's not quite over yet. Emo, he's in. Baboka, he's healing up, but not enough. The root's there. He's cut down by the Naga Siren. SCCC still got mana to work with. The Storm hasn't, but he has now the Keeper of the Light, sharing some of its magical blue juice with him. Will give Emo enough power to zip away. Chuan's chasing. Well, at least he's going to try. Kaka's there. Thunderstrike's on him, and Chuan won't go any further. Did have remnants to play with, but was a little low on the mana and didn't want to dive in. So Emo will be saved there by the beautiful voice of Fly Fly.
Yeah, very nice song, just disengage. You know, not the craziest play ever, but, you know, a good play nonetheless. Safe lane tower was defended by Dire. Radiant would love to take that so that Naga could farm out the enemy side of the jungle, but since they know that a lot of TPs were expended from the Dire side, Naga just goes bottom. He's gonna push out the lane, leave some illusions left behind when he feels scared, which should be soon. They know he TP'd bottom. He has no song, so his main hero cannot be left in this wave right now, and it looks like he's doing the right choice. He just leaves illusions left behind, so low committal play down bottom. But this smoke may still catch him after all.
And they find him. Uh-oh!
Yep, you're dead. No song.
Very, 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 very dead. Aster on the hunt. It's successful. IG will at least be able to finally finish that tier 1 tower top. So they get something, but it's time where Fly Fly's off the map. Another death from Kaka, getting caught out quite a few times now. SCCC using the power of the Lifestealer against him. Not much at all that Disruptor can do against a raged, angry monster.
Nope, Lifestealer, obviously one of the better heroes up against this Disruptor, and also for the same reason against Caudle, so Nexus is gonna have a pretty good game here. The Slaughter is a bit scary for him and the Naga, but until Naga needs quite a while to be good against him, so they should have some decent timing still here in the mid game.
Kaka, standard stuff for him. Ags is queued up, Emo's got his Kaya. Can you afford to go for the straight Bloodstone Rush this game as the Storm, or do you need to buy yourself a little safety or utility on the way?
I would kind of like if he goes aggressive items, because he has heroes that protect him. Like, he can jump in, they drop the Caudle ulti on top, they also have Song. Slaughter should be going in with him. And worst case scenario, you can always sing your song and, you know, just get the hell out of there. So I would kind of like perhaps a Kaya into an Orchid.
Yeah.
Because Orchid would really hard, you know, it would shut down the Dire supports very strongly, especially the Oracle, which should kind of be a target in this game. Because, I mean, they picked Oracle against this combo of the Song and the Static, but if the Storm can go in during the Song, as they get another kill on the Lifestealer.
I mean, SCCC, he's just finding supports all over the place. Kaka and Oli are just feeding him up.
He's farming, not creeps, he's farming heroes.
They've got to be careful. It's the same sort of area up there in the jungle where they try and step in. I wonder if they're just trying to do some sort of a warding mission or something, but the SCCC, he's eating them up every time.
Yeah, like if they want to play up top, they kind of need to do it with Naga and Disruptor. Then you just song him into the Static. Or other than that, you know, the Slaughter plays up there. But the supports, they can't really play top alone if the Lifestealer decides to play there, because, well, if he sees you, you are dead. Vambrace, hello. Cool item.
There's some nice signs for both teams there. Vambrace for Fly Fly and the Imp Claw for SCCC. So already been having an easy time eating up these supports. Now it's going to be even easier having that extra damage and a bit of a crit.
Yeah, we have the Vlads. We've had it for a while on the Slaughter. We also have Naga. One thing to talk about is their minus armor in this game with the Haze and the Riptide. Especially once they hit level 12 on Slaughter. I think Radiant here, IG, they heavily should think about this Roshan, which is already kind of it's warded by them already. So it looks like they're kind of setting up for one of their next plays, which, as I've been saying, should be this Roshan pit. They can also just secure it at the end if Dire do come over. They can song, so it shouldn't be the highest risk play to do for them.
Smoke time for Aster. Let's see what they can do with that move. It's Roshan, it's falling.
Yep.
They've got to move over a bit quicker with that haze. It's going down fast.
The smoke is good, but they're not aware of the situation. They're just gathering around the mid tower and they don't know this is going on.
Now IG was able to set up the map in a way with the waves pushed out and such that Aster didn't expect this. They get in, that's the Aegis done, and picked up by Emo.
Yeah, I would say that's a small oversight.
And now they're ready to go and fight off the back of it. IG Emo's going to head across, but instantly gets doomed. That's your Aegis gone. Maybe IG can still make something happen out of this. The setup's there, the song into the storm. It catches the two of them. The Will-O-Wisp is down. It brings in the four of them as XXS is trying to run. But Boka's trying his best to save him. But XXS is dead. Emo zips across, pulls in the Oracle. IG, they're not done yet. They're going to look for SCCC. He drives for the Rage CP, but the bash is there. SCCC is surrounded, crushed up, 4 dead on Aster as IG take Roshan and a perfect team fight off the back of it. The Naga Siren Disruptor tried and tested combo shows up big again.
Well, that hurts. Aegis was on Radiant. They take a great fight. Storm just goes in. He knows he has his Aegis, and sure, they kill him, but they lost 4 heroes in the process. So IG are just gonna, furthermore the lead right now. Naga's gonna continue farming. He's going for the Diffusal Blade.
I mean, we see this here. I mean, as you said, it looks, great start, right? They kill that Aegis instantly, but they're just, anytime 2 heroes are grouped up and such, Kaka's going to find that follow-up off the back of the song. He's going to be there, laying down the combo. And with that Will-O-Wisp as well, this call that we don't see that much, it just adds to the effect of after the song having this huge amount of catch to just control Aster's heroes with it.
Yeah, I think the win condition of Dire this game, they need to get on top of the Disruptor or the Naga in this game. It's gonna be easier for them later to get on top of Disruptor, at least with Ember. Hopefully he gets a BKB, jumps in, and kind of, you want to separate this combination. It's hard, and that's why it's so strong, but that's what they have to do this game. They have to try at least.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
CCC, interesting stuff. Queuing up the Radiance. Something that used to be an item of the past on all lifestealers. Definitely something that's been theorized against the illusion heroes, right? You get this Maelstrom still, and then you're able to farm it out quick. Stolen Static Storm Fade, giving Kaka a literal taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, great kill. Oh, we have a net down here. Won't lead into anything by the looks of it.
But yeah, do you like the Radiant side here?
Actually, I think with how the new Naix works, I don't know if Radiance is that good. I feel like you could just upgrade to a Mjolnir here first, and then maybe get an armor item after. Yeah. And if you combine the cost of the upgrade to Mjolnir plus Plate Mail, it comes down to the same cost of Radiance. So if you compare those two, I think he would be better off with the Mjolnir choice. Yeah,
we'll see if he does commit to it. Because we have seen a few Naixes sort of queue it up and then... they sort of double think it. And as you say, there's definitely a lot of arguments to be made against going for the Radiance now in this current day and age of meta being, and there's just so many other better options, it does seem. Kaka's items progression is getting closer. The Aghanims with the fights that they've been having is already halfway there. Emo tries to hunt in the trees, but there's no kill to be found.
Yeah, I would like for IG to play aggressive right now. I do believe that they did finish a BKB on Slardar. I think he's very hard to deal with right now. He has Vlad's BKB, he's very strong. We have a Bloodstone on Storm, and we just finished up the Diffusal Blade on Naga. So a lot of their core heroes are hitting a similar timing that they should look to use. Of course, Doom did get his own BKB, so they've got something going for themselves. But I think IG are very strong right now.
Gonna keep that vision for the glimpse.
They're getting close.
And they got him. They don't even need a glimpse him. They're just going to run him down, trapped in the trees.
Ember is coming. No, he's not. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he tries to have a bit of a poke onto Kaka. Tran's thinking about committing more. He's got the backup of XXS, but already you see XXS's manage is getting drained. It's getting destroyed by the illusion. He popped the BKB, but he's already fallen solo. The Static Storm's there. They drag back in the Ember. He's trying to be helped by Baboka. He's using the false promise in an attempt to keep him alive, but they've lost XXS. The Crush is out. Tran's in trouble. He gets popped. Emo starts to play around with Baboka in the tree lines. This Oracle cannot escape. It's only SCCC left alive, and not for long. IG surround him. He pops the rage. SCCC tries to get a kill onto Ollie, but Ollie goes for the Shadow Amulet play. SCCC cannot CCC see him and cannot kill him. And he will fall as well. Aster suffering another terrible team fight as IG continue to hold the lead.
Well, he just survived with the Shadow Amulet, the good old playbook straight out of low priority, working out for him here.
Chappy, never forget.
That fight here, you know, SCCC, he had the right idea. He rages in, he gets to kill the Kato, and he wants to kill the Disruptor, but suddenly his whole team ain't there anymore.
I'll see it again here. It's just so hard for Aster to take these sort of a fight. As I said, you know, by the time the Doom was moving into position, you see him over. Just look at him, just the illusions. The early diffusal blade, and bam. Just do so much damage to him that by the time he's decided he's popping the BKB and looking to commit, he's already had a sad entrance to the fight.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to win this fight, I mean, they're already kind of, you know, committed. He has to pop the BKB earlier there. It at least gives them a little more of a fighting chance. It's not simple, but it certainly had to be done. Doom is missing. I wonder what he's talking about, Doom. Perhaps that he still has the spell and they could be going for a move. As we have Storm pushing up mid, Glimmer Cape completed on the Kato. Well, it's not that easy right now for Doom to get off great initiations as he has a pretty naked BKB. There's no drums to improve his movement speed, no Blink Dagger, or no Shadow Blade. And, well, SCCC, he did change his mind.
Smart man.
I can only agree with to go for the Mjolnir here. They need all this little net worth to be used properly.
Yeah, they really do. They're starting to slip behind Aster. 3 cores of IG looking very scary in comparison to what Aster have. The Lifestealer, you know, SCCC, he's still in a good spot, but his Ember and Doom are falling behind.
This Disruptor is very close to Aghanims. That is
it's quite
a good sign for our good friends over here on Team Dire.
Got to be prepared for that song into Static Storm combo. They need to find a way to make a jump to the back lines. You got to look towards getting the Ember on it. Ember's BKB done. Does he have it already, the Ember?
I believe he's still working on it. Yeah, it's like another, what, 1.5 minutes perhaps. So perhaps on the bounty runes or slightly after bounty runes, you may see a small engage from the 2 teams. Smoke is picked up here by Kato. And he's gathering up with Disruptor, so they might want to smoke straight up here with the completed Ags, which should be flying out. Yes, it is.
Oh, it's going to be a big reveal. He's going to hit them hard. You know, that was we've seen in previous games. Ember, once he has a BKB, is that sort of means to get towards the Disruptor whilst the song is being used for a setup before the Disruptor can get that combo out. But yeah, still more time needed for Twan to have that magic immunity item. There's the Orchid done for Emo. He's now got that offensive potential to go for the supports on the back lines without needing the rest of his team to come in with control. Aster are going to go for the smoke play, but it's going to be a very hard fight for them to find. They've got to, they just have to find the Disruptor first. If they don't, this fight, it's going to be almost impossible, it feels.
Yeah, like the win condition for Aster here is going to be to take a fight where preferably you have vision. You go in with the Ember. Hopefully he's infested by Lifestealer because otherwise this kill on Nyx may take too long. So those two together, they aim the Disruptor and kill him off before he gets anything down. And then Doom at the same time, hopefully he can jump one of the 3 cores and doom him. If they get to succeed doing this, I then believe that they can win a fight.
Oh, he's in! The Zip, the silence, is there any help? Yes, there is. Baboka's in with a false promise, gives Twan a second chance.
Song is out.
See, they're going to focus here. Can they get a good Static Storm setup? Kaka's a little far away, but JC can buy more time with the Crush. The Storm is down. It wasn't even really needed. The 2 supports die immediately. Emo jumps in with the drag back onto the Ember. 3 dead again on Aster. There's the Static Storm lay down onto the Lifestealer. He's trapped in by the field. SCCC is dead. They're buying back on Aster. They're going to need more than just a few buybacks, though, as this fight, once again, a huge disaster
for Aster. Yeah, so not the greatest. Like we said, if they get initiated on, not so simple for them. We have another kill and another Bloodstone charge on Mr. Emo here.
Look how much blood he's got. 24 charges at the moment. He is having a dream game.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, they are finishing a lot of great items. Slaughter is very close to his Aghanims. Also, is second Roshan up right now?
I think it probably
Yeah,
should
make
be.
sure you're there. Yeah, it's gonna be Radiant's next choice of objective, which is obviously the right choice here. Aegis on Storm, Cheese on Naga or Slaughter. Not sure if it makes a big difference. I mean, look how fast it melts.
And that's a full butterfly for flyby. Fly.
Flyby, butterfly by.
Butterfly, fly.
3 salts here on SCCC. What do you think? Is he gonna heal his team while he's raged in the fight?
I don't think any amount of healing can help him here.
Yeah, I sadly have to agree with you here.
He's going to need someone stronger than himself to help him after this game. It's been a rough one. As there's the Zippin. He's in trouble. He needs help. Is he going to get it? The standing still down, but he got the rage off in time. So SCCC can turn, starts to push back JT. But JT's got his puddle prepared, and now the song, they're moving in,
The
RG.
second combo, the white hole. There we go.
And there we have it, the Will-O-Wisp dragging them in. The stolen song.
Very cool. Love to see it.
That is very, very nice, but is it
They're still
enough?
getting smacked.
They are. I mean, a little bit of a song in honor of the heroes that were about to die on Aster's side. A little bit of a lead-in before the funeral, and there it is. GG, it's called this game 3. IG, they crushed them. They absolutely did, and literally crushed them as well. JT, that Slaughter pick worked out perfectly. He was in charge the whole game from that blading stage where he was able to own XSS's Doom. He just had a brilliant time. And it's, who would have guessed it, it's another win for Disruptor Naga, Keza.
Well, am I surprised? Nope, not at all. Well, they set up their lanes perfectly, getting this Slaughter up against the Doom in the safe lane, having their Naga top. And, I mean, it just worked out great for them all the way through. Early game, mid game, room control. First Roshan, good fighting. Can't ask for much more.
Some good reads and good plays from IG as they will be the ones to proceed here at the Leipzig Major. But unfortunately for Aster, it is the end of the road here. I'm sure we will see more from them in the future, but as for this tournament, that is it. IG will carry forward the hope here to see how far they can get in this, as we will be able to bring the panel back in. Panel, how you doing?
Hey, let's actually talk about how we got this result, and also I think we just got to look at the day as a whole, right? I think we had a pretty good day of Dota. You look at the 3 series before this one as well, and I think we were all talking about just how crazy the games actually were. But let's look at this series first, and let's actually break down what happened in this third game, Fogg.
Just clean execution, clean draft, clean game from start to finish. They had a great laning phase. They took great fights overall. I think Emo is, I mean, they're playing super comfortable heroes. They had 3 of the cores leading the top net worth pretty much the entirety of the game. And the supports could make easy movements because every single time they went to take a fight, they had such a commanding advantage in comparison. Like, their team fight was just so much bigger and better than Aster's, and Aster's kept running into them, and we see it.
This fight here, they didn't even need a static Storm. They saved it for a little bit later because Storm was so big. He was just handling business on his own. You have Slardar as well helping there, here and there out with the minus armor versus Roshan and versus Doom, I guess, in a couple of fights. But when you don't have the power necessary on the heroes, you have that combo with Naga, with Disruptor, you have the Static Storm, Song of the Siren. It just looked so simple for them.
Yeah, and now let's actually take a look at how it all shapes up now. The dust has settled. Let's see our bracket. And now, Moxie, we can really start to talk about what did happen today for anyone who maybe only got to see the last series. And we can start thinking a little bit about tomorrow. So for anyone who did miss some of the series today, did you have a favorite?
I mean, I'm totally biased. Let's be really honest here.
That's fair. That's
the Beast
fair.
Coast game 3, just absolutely wild. That Disruptor mid pick totally took a lot of people off guard, and they made a win. They took out Nigma.
Yeah, I think it's a hard question to ask, though, right? Like, which series was the best? I kind of threw you at the spot there. Really, all three of them were really fantastic. And this one, you know, when we do get to the third game, there is that moment where, you know, Fog used the word clean. It just does seem to be like, it was that moment that all of a sudden it did come together. And now excited to see what they're going to be able to do against Beast Coast.
Yeah, I mean, that should be a really fun matchup to see, because it's going to be like more things that Beast Coast improve. And I think IG, they showed it. I mean, this last game showed a lot of promise, and I just love that they did go a little bit outside the box still. The Slardar, I wanted to see this hero, and I was proud to.
Yeah, and ultimately, it's one of those heroes that we've got to see a little bit, and it's been a lot of fun so far. And the other thing that's been a lot of fun so far has been the entirety of this tournament. I've enjoyed being here with you guys a lot. I've enjoyed getting to hang out with that's so beautiful. I've enjoyed getting to hang out with all of you guys in chat. We've shared many Keck W's and also got to watch a lot of great Dota, and all that is possible, of course, because of our sponsors. Want to give them a big shout out. Thank you to Corsair, Monster Energy, Mercedes-Benz, and Ray Gaming. And thank you to all of you guys at home. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all the players for the fantastic Dota. I wish it was tomorrow already. We will see you there as we keep moving through this bracket, and I cannot wait to actually get everything kicked off then.
Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why, thank you very much.